YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about what players have been standing out at Washington's 2020 training camp. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington football team. And let's get straight into today's video. So normally, like I said, every single day, I will be bringing you guys a training camp recap, but today the guys are off, and then tomorrow they're headed to FedEx Field to get their first chances stepping on to FedEx Field since I would say last year, and for the rookies, their first time ever. And I believe that we're doing this because they just want to get a feel of how it feels to play, I guess, in the actual stadium and stuff like that. So good call by Ron Rivera. But tomorrow the practice will be taking place at FedEx Field, like I said, and they will be streaming it at 7 p.m. on Washington's football YouTube channel. So make sure you guys, everyone is there. I will be there, and I will be commenting in the chat. And tell me if you're coming from this video. With all that out the way, let's get straight into today's video. So I know a lot of people are going to say, why didn't you put this player in this? Oh, you're dumb. Why didn't you put him in here? He's having a good camp. Calm down, guys. These are just like 5 players that I believe is having a good camp. Doesn't necessarily mean that you may believe so, but this is just my opinion, and I'm all for, discussion down below. Who did I miss? Who did I, forget? And trust me, I know there is a ton of players that are having a great camp, but I just wanted to narrow it down to just 5 or maybe 6 players, because I didn't want to put a top 10 yet, because I was just gonna say that for another video, or maybe even just wait until the 55-man roster prediction video. So we have a ton of stuff to get to. So without further ado, I just wanted to get it out the way, because I know a lot of people were gonna call me dumb for having my opinion and not putting this player on this list. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So number 1 on my list is none other than Troy Ackbee. I mean, Troy Ackbee should be on everyone's top list for number 1, because this guy has had the best camp out of anybody. I mean, he's caught Ron Rivera's eye yesterday, and just every day at camp, he brings that swagger to the team, man. And I didn't think much of him. Troy Ackbee, I thought he was just going to be a special teams player. He's a dominant special teams player, and he really worked his way up, you know what I'm saying? And I feel as though that if the last regime was still here, he wouldn't have got his shot. And I've been screaming this from day one since we drafted Troy Ackbee. Give him his shot, you know what I'm saying? And he's finally starting to get it, and he's finally making the best of it. And before this training camp even happened, I didn't even have him making a roster. I was not going to be surprised if he did get cut, but now I really believe that he's going to be the starting free safety come week 1. I mean, this guy has been balling. He's flying around the ball. He's not scared to hit. And coming out of college, Troy Ackbee wasn't the biggest hitter, but he's showing that he can lay that wood, man. So it's really exciting to see that Troy Ackbee is finally starting to come on, and he's finally, showing why we drafted him, and I can't wait to see him in live game action. Oh, it should be fun to see him pair up with Landon Collins, because I mean, him and Landon Collins back there together is just a dynamic duo, and I'm excited to see what he has in offer for us and the Washington football team. I really believe that he can be the starting free safety. And then on top of that, I really haven't heard much from Sean Davis. Sean Davis, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's just not that good. He's just flying under the radar, or is he just not that good, like I said at first? I just feel as though that Troy Ackbee is running away with the starting job. Troy Ackbee has just been different this whole training camp. I mean, he's been hitting Terry McLaurin, and not to say that's a plus or anything, but just to show you that he's not afraid. And one thing that I love so much about Troy Ackbee is that he can cover so much ground. And we know Landon Collins isn't the best covering safety in the league, probably amongst the worst. But just to have 2 guys back there that's not afraid to hit is just gonna be good. Cause just say by a small chance they get through our D line and our backers, we know we still have 2 safeties back there that's gonna make the tackle. So that's the reason why I have Troy Ackbee making this roster, and I feel as though he's been one of the most standout players. I think he's number 1 actually, because this guy has been balling. He's been on a whole different level. So shout out to Troy Ackbee. Keep it up, man, and I'm looking forward to you having a dominant 2020 season. Next on my list is a guy by the name of Dontrell Inman. Not a lot of people thought Dontrell Inman was going to make this roster when we first signed him. I didn't think he was going to make the roster either. I thought we just signed him just to fill in for one Kelvin Harmon, because we know Kelvin Harmon got hurt. So I didn't think he was going to have a good training camp, but this guy has been balling, man. This guy has been balling, and I'm excited to see what he has in store. And a lot of people forget that he was a part of that great Chargers run in 2016 when I believe they were 13-3. A lot of people forget that he's a good weapon. He's good, and he's been Dwayne's #1 target as far as wide receivers go in training camp. I mean, of course, we know Terry is really his #1. Gotta have someone that's gonna be, take all the attention off of Terry. So that guy is gonna be Dontre Inman, in my opinion, because he's really been having a great camp. He goes up and get the ball, he climbs the ladder, he has some speed to him, and he has great hands. It's exciting that we have a free agent that's gonna be on, like, not a proven deal, but he has like a little sour taste in his mouth because he feels as though that he has a lot left in the tank and no team would give him a chance, and we were the one team to give him a chance. So now he's gonna make the best of it, and he's been doing that in training camp. I mean, he's been cooking in training camp, dog, and it's really exciting. Like I said, I wanted Kelvin Harmon to be the #2, and I thought he was really gonna be good. I thought AGG was gonna be good, and he still is. But Dontre Inman, I believe that he's really been working his tail off to be the #2 receiver come week 1. Now AGG, he's really been good too, but I would just go with more of a veteran presence in Dontre Inman, man, because he hasn't shown why he's not good, man. This guy has been balling, bro, and if you've been paying attention to training camp, you know he has. Next player on my list is another wide receiver by the name of Cam Sims, man. Cam Sims, if I'm being honest, outside of social media clout and just fame, if we're talking pure fans inside of the Washington fan base, I believe that Cam Sims is up there with the Haskins and the Chase Youngs of the world, because this guy has so many fans inside of this fan base, and it's crazy, bro. Every year, people are pulling for Cam Sims to make the roster. Last year, he kind of had the bad Ravens game when he had a ton of drops in the preseason, so I feel as though that didn't give him a chance to make the roster. But this year, this guy has been balling in training camp, but when has he not? You know what I'm saying? With no preseason, I feel as though that he's going to make the roster, and he's not going to be, he's not going to be the #2. I'll get that out the way right now. He's not going to be the #2, but he might get some playing time. And Cam Sims, he made a couple good grabs from Dwayne last year. He kind of is a bailout for Dwayne when Dwayne throws it high, because he used that big body, 6'5", 215, straight from Alabama. So he uses that big body to, get balls that will be overthrown for other receivers and just climb the ladder, be a good red zone target for one Dwayne Haskins. So he may be getting subbed in and out in the red zone, maybe take out Emmett and put him in there, or maybe take out even Terry and put him in there, just so we can have that big, that big frame. Who says we don't go big in the red zone? Why not? You know what I'm saying? See, we can get creative with having monster wide receivers, Sims and also AGG. So like I said, if we wanted to go big, we could take out Emmett and Terry, put in AGG and Cam Sims and let them work. You know what I'm saying? So that's really a plus. But like I said, I don't really see him making the roster as being the #2 wide receiver. But he's really been having a strong camp, and I'm excited to see what this offense has for Cam Sims, because he's really like Darvin Kizzy. This guy hasn't really been able to give his chance, and I'm finally happy that he's getting his chance. And maybe it's not what he's wanted, but hey, you got to take what you can get in the NFL. Next person on my list is Jaron Christian, and just like Logan Thomas and Troy Ackbe, he's running away with his job. You have Sadiq Charles that's on the shelf. He's not really 100%, so he hasn't been able to fight for that left tackle starting spot. But Jaron Christian has been working his tail off. Ron Rivera has been praising Jaron Christian since he got this job, and Jaron Christian is finally panning out. Well, at least that's what it seems like. When we first got him, we knew that he was butt, man. Like he played butt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he didn't have no talent. He just, he probably was raw. Most likely he was raw, and he just wasn't ready. And now that he's going into his, I believe, 3rd or 4th year in the pros, he's finally starting to come along, and I'm excited to see what he has to offer as the starting left tackle. I believe, how I said Troy Ackbe and Logan Thomas are penciled in. If you want to take those away, you can, but I feel as though, and I believe that Jaron Christian is penciled in at left tackle. More importantly, Dwayne Haskins' blind side. So hats off to Jaron Christian. You got a big job, my boy. He's been working out with Adrian Peterson and Trent Williams this offseason down in Houston. So you got a big task. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect my boy Dwayne's blind side, and I know you can do it, man. You've been working your tail off. So hats off to Jaron Christian, and that's another guy that's been having a standout training camp. Another defensive guy that's on my list is none other than Ronald Darby. Ronald Darby, we know we got him from Philly. We signed him, let him come home, man. He's from Potomac, Maryland, PG County, Oxon Hill area. So shout out to Darby just for that, for being around where I'm from, and a lot of other Washington football fans are from. Shout out to Darby for just putting on for us, man, for putting on for PG County, man. And it's exciting, just let alone that. But this guy has been balling, man, and I'm not just saying that just because he's a Washington football player now, but this guy has really been balling, and I knew that he was gonna do good, because Philly, they never have good cornerbacks, and it's not that their players aren't good, they just don't know how to coach them. I guess their scheme is just too complex or not good enough, because they always turn every corner bad. You know what I'm saying? They turned Ronald Darby bad. When he was in Buffalo, he was solid alongside Stephon Gilmore. You know what I'm saying? So Darby was solid, but then once he got to Philly, injuries started to hit him, and then just their game plan just wasn't good. Jalen Mills is not that good. He's overrated in my opinion. He's not a really good number one. Let's just be honest. Would you want Jalen Mills as your number one cornerback? Okay, then that's what I thought. They have Avonte Maddox, Rasul Douglas. Those corners are okay, but they're not good, and that Philadelphia Eagles scheme is not making it no better. So Philly just never has good corners, and I feel as though that's what they had for Ronald Darby these past couple years, and let alone the injuries too. But Darby finally, in a system that he likes and he loves, he said it himself in his press conference yesterday that Jack Del Rio's team, he loves it. He said 95% of his time in Philly, and just since he's been in the pros, he's playing man, and he's not a man kind of corner. He said it himself. He's a zone corner, really. And Jack Del Rio's scheme is zone heavy. You have some man up in there too, but you know your majority going to be running the cover threes and stuff of the world in Jack Del Rio's scheme, and that really fits one Ronald Darby. That's just going to make him play even better. If you guys have been keeping up on these videos and JP Finley's tweets, you know that Ronald Darby has been balling. Him and Terry McLaurin has been going back and forth. It's like Terry McLaurin would get two, then Darby would get two. Not to mention Ronald Darby lit up Terry McLaurin. So Terry McLaurin has been getting killed this training camp as far as, you know, hits goes, but he's been killing them with his routes, because Terry McLaurin is the best player on this team. Let's just be honest. But back to Darby. Darby has really been balling, man, and I'm excited that he's finally, hey, who knows? Was it the dreads that was holding Darby back, man? Because he cut the dreads, and now he's starting to, you know, ball again. So, was it the dreads, maybe? Who knows? Nah, but in all seriousness, though, Darby's really been balling, man. And not only does he get my respect because he's from PG County, but he's just putting on for PG County, man. And I'm really excited to see what he has to offer us here in Washington. And I'm hoping this for a long time, and maybe 4+ years, because I really believe that this guy has the skill set, and we can revitalize his career in Jack Del Rio's scheme. Jack Del Rio loves Ronald Darby. Next person on my list is everyone's favorite, not everyone's favorite, my favorite, Dwayne Haskins, the one I believe that is going to be winning MVP this 2020 year. I believe that he's been having a solid camp. No, it's not the best. And the reason why I say solid camp is because not what he's doing on the field. We know how talented he is on the field. But this guy, worth ethic should win him the job alone. And the reason why I say that is because yesterday he stayed after practice. And this isn't his first time staying after. This isn't his second time staying after. But yesterday, him and J.D. McKissic had some miscommunication on a play where it caused Dwayne Haskins to throw an interception. So they stayed after practice and worked together, him and J.D. McKissic. And guess who else was there? Guess who else was there? Good old Ron Rivera. And that tells me, if a head coach that didn't want a guy to start on this team and didn't make him the starter already, why would he be staying after? This just tells me, this doesn't tell me that Ron is helping his guys, which he is, but that doesn't tell me that. That tells me that Dwayne Haskins is your starting quarterback for the 2020 season. Oh, the Alex Smith lovers, the Kyle Smith wannabes and want him to be the starter, I'm sorry. But Dwayne Haskins is your starter, and it's clear. If it's not clear, then you need to go get checked, man, because it's clear. Ron stayed after with the guys to help them with the play, to make sure it's better for when we actually call it in games and for the next couple days of training camp. And also on top of that, that shows me that J.D. McKissic is making this roster. With that being said, That should tell you that 2 players right there are already confirmed. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason that you can tell me Ron Rivera would be standing after with a bunch of backups and a guy that he doesn't want to make the roster. You know what I'm saying? So Ron has named Dwayne Haskins the starter without naming Dwayne Haskins the starter. See, me, Louis T, all the YouTubers that cover the Washington football team, we see through that. We see through that you actually are naming Dwayne Haskins the starter without naming Dwayne Haskins the starter. See, that's why it's important that you pay attention. But anyways, Dwayne Haskins has been having a good camp. Like I said, not the best, but that comes with growing and going out there every day. Yesterday, he had 13 for 13 to start off the training camp, and then he had 1 incompletion. Dwayne Haskins have had, I would say, 4 to 5 good practices in a row, and he's just going to continue to build, and that's why I'm saying he's going to win MVP. You give him a tight end, which we have now in Logan Thomas, you're going to see why. So Dwayne Haskins continue to prove these haters wrong, and I got something for these guys when you win MVP this year. Call me crazy now, but check back with me in 9 months. It's probably a little less than 9 months now. It's probably what, like 5 months into NFL honors. I can't wait to shove it in their face. Dwayne Haskins for MVP in 2020. Next person on my list is none other than Bryce Love. Bryce Love has really been balling this training camp, man, and it doesn't seem like the injury has affected him at all. You know what I'm saying? The injury has not affected him. You can clearly see it, man. Bryce Love has been balling. He's been exploding up holes. He's been catching balls off the backfield, and he's really just been looking good in individual work too. So hats off to Bryce Love, man, because I know that injury that you sustained was really horrible because it was your last college game and it forced you to miss your whole rookie season. And just on top of that, he had a better college career than Christian McCaffrey, and I know that's hard for a lot of people to believe, but that is true. He had a better career at Stanford than one Christian McCaffrey. Even Christian McCaffrey said he learned some things from Bryce Love, and of course Bryce Love learned things from Christian McCaffrey too, because I mean, duh, it's Christian McCaffrey. So Bryce Love has just been balling, man, and I cannot wait to see him go out there and play on week 1 versus Philly. Bryce Love will be the, splitting carries with AP. AP will of course get the bulk of the carries, because I mean, that guy is still a tank and he's still rumbling. But if he has to split carries, the number 2 back would be Bryce Love, and Bryce Love, just because he's number 2 back, he's still gonna be, still gonna get some playing time. And I feel like I said, he's gonna be taking the Geis role. Geis and AP were supposed to be splitting carries, but now I feel as though it's gonna be Bryce Love and AP. But with that being said, shout out to Bryce Love, man. You've been having an outstanding camp, and continue to build, man, and continue to show these guys that you ain't nothing to play with, Bryce Love. Next player on my list is none other than Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas, like I said about Troy Ackbe and Jaron Christian, this guy, I feel as though that he locked up the tight end position. I feel as though that he locked up the tight end position. This guy has been balling and has been a great threat for Dwayne Haskins. Now, I know we have Marcus Ball. Marcus Ball has been balling too, but I feel as though they want to keep him around for a little bit longer. He might make the roster as probably the backup tight end or something. It'd probably be Helm, Sprinkle, and Ball, or Helm, Sprinkle, Ball, and Hill Hedges. Who knows? But I feel as though Hill Hedges is going to be the fullback, so the 3 might be Ball, Ball, Logan, and Sprinkle. Back to Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas has been balling, man. He's been a great, threat for Dwayne Haskins, especially in the red zone. I mean, these guys have, what I would say, 5 touchdowns in the last 4, training camp days as far as the red zone. So he's a big threat across the middle, and it's just, and he's also not afraid to block. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did in Detroit. And it's not so many, it's not those. And it's not that many tight ends that's like that in the league anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's either you're a passing catching tight end or you're a blocking tight end. So we have the mix of both in one Logan Thomas. I mean, he gave Ryan Kerrigan a concussion last year, and that's not nothing good, but that should show you that he's really a good blocker. Not the point. Logan Thomas has been balling this training camp, and I cannot wait to see what he has in store. Now, it's a little too early to call him a stud, because I don't know if I would call him a stud yet, but he's really running away with this #1 job. Only other threat is probably Jeremy Sprinkle, but I mean, we know how we feel about Jeremy Sprinkle, so maybe Marcus Ball is somewhat of a threat, but I feel as though Logan Thomas is running away with this job. How could I forget about this guy? The last person on my list is Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson, we don't even have to talk about Antonio Gibson really, because when he came out of Memphis, we knew that this guy was going to be a monster, and he's just proven us all right. So I'm excited for Antonio Gibson, man, and this guy is really going to be explosive, and he's going to bring something to this team that we haven't had in a long time. So I'm really excited. Antonio Gibson, man, you see him running behind Big Moses on some plays, so he's able to run the ball well. We've been knew this, and he's also a great pass catcher, so you can put him out there in the slot like a J.D. McKissick. I'm really excited to see what AG has to offer this season. I really know that he's going to ball, man, and I cannot wait to see it. And like I said, it's not a lot to talk about AG because he lets his work speak for himself. That was my quick list. I know I missed out on some players, and I know a lot of people I was probably sitting at the computer screen going crazy saying, what? How did you put him in the list? Calm down, guys. It's my list, and I know everyone couldn't make it on there. I'm sorry, but the guys that I did miss continue to ball out. I'm not saying that you're not good, but this was just my list. I had to say that for the guys that are going to go down below in the comment section and say I'm dumb for picking my list. You know you had those people. But as always, this is me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington football team. Put your list down below. I'm excited to see who you guys have that's different from mine or even the same. So as always, me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.
I got a bad bitch, she said we gon' spoil you. I love them sticks, nigga, with them 40. She love my dick all the way horny. Ain't getting back door, you already informed. Can't fuck with these niggas, nigga be corny. I'ma just a little step and there was no Jordan.